I think that what would be a little bit more compelling and a little bit more realistic for people to accept, as far as it not seeming staged, would be if McGregor loses this one at the decision, and then the second fight goes to a split, and then it forces the third. Because now, oh, wait a minute, McGregor might be on the same plane. If we have a split, we've got to have a third here to actually determine it. But it does seem like a money grab, and it all seems like a build-up in some way or another.
Mayweather needs to lose for a third one because you have to have that rubber match. You don't want him to lose a boxing match, which is why MMA works better.
Right, but I just don't... How can you can't justify that. You can't expect... For
$200 million, you don't think Mayweather would take a knee to the head and get knocked out?
I would.
I think he would.
I mean, he probably would.
$200 million is on the low side.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and given his current tax situation, I'm sure he would. He doesn't pay them. That's the problem.
Right.
Which, sure, he'd probably take it. You just have to tell him what the number is. He can't read it.
How many zeros?
Yeah. If he can't read, he can't count. Okay? Let's be real here.
But I think for the third fight to actually be a thing, Mayweather needs to lose one of the first two fights. And you cannot have him lose a boxing match to a non-boxer.
No, you can't have him do that. I just think it's a hard ask for him to do that because the training... Like, McGregor's been training this kind of fighting his entire life. Mayweather's going to have to learn a whole set of fighting in different backgrounds to even get into that ring with McGregor.
And Mayweather's, his style leads to, or lends itself to being able to stage things. Because what is it that he does after round 5? Hugs.
Yeah, he hugs. He
hugs a lot.
He just moves. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for something to be choreographed with him, especially.
He asks for glove checks a lot. So the refs...
Which, again, these are more of the reasons why I've never been a Mayweather fan. It's just... It to me is his overwhelming arrogance in the fact that we can see what he does in a fight. I watch you dance. I watch you hug. I watch you check gloves. I watch you piss, whine, and moan every time you're out there. But you do it all the time, and then you want to get off and you want to spout your mouth on TV about how you're the greatest fighter of all time. Shut up and fight. That's what I pay you for. I am paying to watch you get beat up or beat somebody up. Not to dope in your mouth, not to talk, just get it on.
But hasn't he earned that after 49 wins? And no losses. It's the same thing. Should Peyton Manning be excited about that Super Bowl he won? He was garbage. That defense won him that Super Bowl.
Okay. And Kendrick Lamar just had a song that said, sit down and stay humble. So
Kendrick Lamar needs to shut up.
Kendrick Lamar is doing pretty damn well for himself considering his age. And you know what? At least he can understand that. I'm not even sure that Mayweather knows that humble is a word.
Yes, the humblebee.
In his mind, and in that point, he'd probably be thinking you were talking about tuna or something. You wouldn't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I can't. Mayweather's his.
For those of you who don't know, he can't read.
Yeah, he's illiterate.
Just like Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that's. But I guess you don't have to be literate to cash checks. So
No.
I mean,
he's got a stamp to sign his name.
I'm sure somebody else does that for him, and it's probably forgery, but who cares? But I'd love to see him hit the canvas. I would love the reality check to see Mayweather, just the look on his face, like the confusion of where he is when like he hits the mat. Like, what is this new place I found?
Another thing that I think would cause a little bit of concern, one thing that I'm worried about is a shady ending. Like, what happens if, Mayweather punches McGregor, he stumbles, he's used to having something that he can hit and bounce back, falls through the ropes, automatically disqualified because he's outside the ring.
That's a concern, but I hope, I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go
You'd hope he'd learn the rules before the fight.
Yeah, you would hope. or at least you hope that they be told to you in some aspects, that there's certain things that could go wrong. And I don't know. It is a spectacle. I'm excited for it. There's so many different ways that this can play out. The only way we're going to have any idea of what's to come is when that bell gets rung. Because both of these two are great at running their mouth. This is fine. I didn't need press conferences to know this. I don't need weigh-ins to know this. Do what you have to do. Wake me up when the bell's rung. That's when it's going to matter. I really don't care. Because I'm having a bunch of people over to my place, and anybody's welcome to come, because I am going to order the fight. That being said, I also have poker games going on, because I know that this isn't going to go off until like 1 in the morning. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I am not anticipating and not looking forward to this whole long drawn out, that it seems like it's going to be a 90 for 90 special about what's led into this fight. Ring the bell and let's go. They could do it on a Wednesday tomorrow for all I care.
I mean, are you annoyed at all that there are still 2 TBAs on that card? Just cut them. Just cut them.
For what? For what? That's going to be the most embarrassing part, to be honest with you. Is the fact that they're probably listed as TBAs because they have to find 2 fighters that are going to be good enough to be entertaining but not overshadow the main event. Because God forbid there's a great slugfest that goes off in that fight. That's going to be the better fight.
I think there's going to be. I'm
sure there is. Now. Because there's 2 boxers.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So let's look at this. Let's look at this undercard. Oh, actually, it says that it's been finalized.
They finished all the spots.
Yeah, I should have thought of that before I said it.
Well, it was to be determined for a long time, and that may change, by the way.
Yeah.
That there's no saying that this is going to be finish official, because some guy may get turf toe or fall out of the shower or something.
Right.
I mean that random things happen all the time. Is Tyson Fury on there? I wish he was. Best boxing name ever, Tyson Fury, and he's 19-0 with something like 7 knockouts. Yeah, he's a heavyweight. I want to see that dude fight.
So while I'm pulling this up, that brings me to a question that I had thought of last week. Didn't bother to actually include it in, but I'm going to do it now. Are there any other cross-brand fights that you'd want to see? I could think of a couple that I'd be interested in seeing, and it's not just MMA versus boxing. I'll give you one right now. I want to see Antonio Gates versus Brock Lesnar. I think that would be a hell of a fight.
I mean, I could see that there's always... I think this opens the door for more of that discussion. And that is one thing that I will take away from this, is it opens the door of more... Yes, you can specialize in a certain fight, but how can we really tell who's the best fighter if they're not going to fight off against each other in their expertise or the other person's expertise? It opens the door to that possibility, which I think is great for the sport, for any sport of fighting or combat sports, especially nowadays where combat sports are... I mean, UFC revitalized it, but they, even to that extent, there's still a struggle there. There's a lot of money involved, and a lot of it seems old money.
Yeah, and not only did they revitalize it, they took it. They took the crown from boxing.
Right. Yeah.
And they ran with it.
But I think the fighting world in general, whether it be boxing or if it's jiu-jitsu or taekwondo, anything that you see in actual Olympics that are listed as fighting, I think it only furthers the movement for these specialized fighting styles to hopefully grow to the point where people will mix and match, and maybe you get 2 UFC fighters who one specializes in something more than the other, but they've agreed to strictly that rules fight. I think it could expand UFC, really. UFC can make the stipulation, boxing only match inside the ring. Knockouts only, no submissions. It gives them the opportunity to almost WWE the situation and alter fights a little bit.
Right. Do you see a way for UFC to just become a total combat sports enterprise and I guess buy out the IBO.
Almost
and
absorb boxing as one of its...
Yeah, so they have a boxing division with the same belts that they have now.
It's probably where it's gonna
Right,
go.
but just a subsect of the UFC as a whole. The Ultimate Fighting Championship is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, but there is boxing as a portion of that. There is jiu-jitsu as a portion of that. There could be wrestling as a portion of that. There could be submission artists as a part of that.
Arm wrestling.
Sounds a lot like XFL.
That's
almost.
nonsense.
Slap bets.
Yeah, this is what Vince McMahon was hoping for.
Yeah.
He was just way too early, and he got a little too excited.
Okay, so I have a portion of the undercard up, and it's exciting.
Okay.
All right. So Nathan Cleverly, 31-3 with 16 knockouts, against Badu Jack, 21-1-2 with 12
I'm betting
knockouts.
on him based on his name. I don't care what the odds are.
All right. Jack
Badu?
he's an Olympian.
Beat the out of him, Badu. That's what I'm going to be screaming that.
What you gonna Badu?
Yeah. What you gonna Badu?
All right. You got Gervonta Davis, 18-0, with 17 knockouts. That's
He's knocking out everyone.
everyone. Against Francisco Fonseca, 19-0-1 with 13 knockouts.
If you want to watch a fight where people are just going to be swinging to knock each other's heads off, that sounds like the fight.
Junior lightweight.
Oh, yeah?
Title
it's
match.
a junior lightweight?
It's a junior lightweight title
man.
match.
Those are so entertaining. Those people go with reckless abandon.
And then a 10-round cruiserweight fight between Andrew Tabiti, 14-0 with 12 knockouts, and Steve Cunningham, 29-8-1 with
heard of
13
Cunningham,
knockouts.
yeah.
He's from Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. That's actually not a bad undercard. I mean, there are some good fights. Obviously, it's not the marquee, but I mean, that's a decent card.
They're probably going to all be better than the main bout.
I probably, if the tickets weren't so expensive, would have bought it for the card and not the main event, just to see those fights go off, because those are probably going to be extremely entertaining.
You're going to get a jersey now that says Badu.
I probably will. Probably will. At least make a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can get that printed easily.
But
Who do you think would
could.
win your Brock Lesnar and Antonio Gates?
Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah. I
It's
mean,
freaking
that is the
crazy.
reality of the situation.
Okay, let's go something else. Let's take a boxing match between LeBron James and Antonio Gates. Who do you think wins that? I'm gonna say Antonio Gates because LeBron James is getting soft.
Plus, he holds his knee a lot when he runs, so you know.
Boxing match between who and who?
Between LeBron and Antonio Gates.
I feel like Brock still wins. I don't know.
No, Antonio Gates and LeBron.
Oh, and LeBron.
Yes.
I thought we were still talking about Brock.
Brock Lesnar beats both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar versus LeBron and
Triple-
Antonio Gates.
Triple threat.
I would say, man, that's tough. I feel like LeBron can beat him, but he's going to start crying once he's hit. So, Antonio Gates.
Here's going to be the toughest and the final one.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick versus Lonzo Ball. Who would win in that fight?
Lonzo would probably just run him over with his car.
Lonzo is going down a very Suge Knight way. Now that you say that. Like, he's really... he's got a lot of Suge Knight comparisons to him. I've never thought about that until that comment was made. And now I'm like, oh, yeah, he kind of is like Suge Knight. He would hit somebody with a car.
He would.
Like, I could see that happening. Be like, your shoes are trash. Oh, yeah, honk, honk. Bam. He's driving up on pedestrians on sidewalks.
Given the current political climate, it's probably not the best comment to make. But anyways.
Maybe not, but this is about shoes and not about any particular, racial divide. I could just see the man flying off the hinge. Like, so I could see him, like, flipping out, like, at, like, a Wendy's, like, because he said, like, diet and he got regular, and, like, throwing it at the cashier. Like, I could totally see him being unhinged like that.
Did you see that video of the lady wanting her chicken nuggets at, like, 9 in the morning?
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach my ultimate form.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is that the one where what happened with that? Was that the one where, like, Just like goes like bipolar and like reaches through the window.
Yeah, it's like
There's like a
punching.
YouTube video.